Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. Will you agree with our panel? Or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan
Hello.
and Cathal Vini.
Hello.
All right, Cathal, what's on the agenda this week?
The film this week is called Ultromedia, Please, which is written, directed, performed, and animated by Sam Campbell, who you can see in the corner of my background screen there. So Sam is giving a little tutorial on this new graphic software called Ultromedia, Please. And it doesn't really go according to plan. It's just quite a funny little film. For anybody who's ever tried to learn a new software and doesn't really have the patience for reading through a manual or going online looking at all tutorials, it's a perfect synopsis. I just thought it was very funny. Like any the even looking at it there, it looks very retro, like the graphic interface, and the symbols that he has, like none of them are intuitive in any way. And like it's like oftentimes when you are trying to learn a software, and you look up a tutorial and then I'll try that, and then like you go back to your own, and it's like nothing in the tutorial works. That's not available. That's not available. You have the wrong version or something like that. But yeah, he really hit the nail on the head, I thought, with his analysis, and it was very funny.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
I think the only thing that he was missing from his fake tutorial was a really long introduction where he talked about what he was going to do for like 2 to 5 minutes and then actually got into the tutorial. That's I think the only thing he was missing there.
That's so true. 'Cause I look up a lot of tutorials, like because I'm learning to edit, and geez, the amount of tutorials, just the introduction, and sometimes it'd be one. It could have taken them 2 seconds to say what the solution is, but it's the most frustrating thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it totally is, because it's like, I know what you're going to teach me. That's why I clicked on the link. I don't need 2 minutes of you telling me what you're going to show me.
I
I
suppose
already know.
they're just looking for extra views,
Yeah.
extra time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, what about the film? Come on.
Yeah, no, this is funny. It was more of a skit, I think, than a film. Like I definitely, but I did enjoy it. And like you said, anyone who's watched a tutorial or got a new program and you're trying to figure out how it works, like I'm in the process of trying to get off Adobe software because I don't want to play the subscription anymore. And so I downloaded Affinity Photo to use instead of Photoshop. And it's very similar in a lot of ways, but then not some of the little icons. And I'm like, what, I know what it is in Photoshop, but what is it in this? And you mouse over it. And of course, it's all named differently as well. So it does the same thing. You just got to figure out which actually icon and tool does that same functionality. So I've experienced this as well. It's kind of irritating, but he did a good job of pretty much duplicating the experience. And especially if like sometimes you watch tutorials as well and they're like, okay, you do this, oh no, that didn't work, okay, let me back up, okay, this is actually what I meant to do, oh no, okay, actually it's this. And it's like, why are you recording yourself not knowing what you're doing?
And I just thought it's more like a sketch, I suppose. And he created it during lockdown, I think, because it was 2020 written on it, and it seems to be it might have been a competition, I'm not sure, but it's very cleverly done, and he did everything. He did the graphics and everything. And one thing, I suppose we can all relate to it, but you know the way you think you're going along and you're getting the free trial, you think you're okay without paying for the subscription, and then there's a logo over your photograph or something at the end, and you're like, oh no. And you don't realize it until you export the photo that there's a logo attached and you have to pay to get rid of the logo. I think that was brilliant. I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah. I like the 20-second trial version.
Oh
But
yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like the old Paint. Remember Paint?
Oh yeah.
Years and years back, and I thought it was so clever because if you look at all the symbols, it's just behind Call there. It's just like Yeah, this is so random. Do you know? It's so random.
roller skates. I need
Oh,
roller
mad.
skate, function. Uh,
Absolutely. And then when he rings the customer service, and like,
yeah,
Mm,
your man's really in bed, like,
yeah.
and
Or when
then
he
I,
clicks the ask whatever the door, the ask, because it's like just ask
Dave, I
this,
think
and it
was
just
it?
comes out and it's like it's completely useless in the same way
Yeah,
which Windows is like ask, how do you do this? And it's just he gives you something and you're like that was completely useless. That didn't help me
yeah.
at all.
oh
But
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
like,
so
oh, yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, well done. And oh yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it's a good lockdown project though, because yeah, he was able to do it on his own, sitting in front of his computer, creating the icons. It's a great idea. Like if you're stuck sitting at home during
yeah.
lockdown to do something like this. Good job to him.
yeah,
And and
absolutely.
and, and it looks kind of amateurish, like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he's done, but it's obviously not. I mean, because he went to a lot of trouble to
Oh,
create that
huge,
in the
huge. And
film. Yeah,
it's an example of being able to do something solo, like, and being really successful in pulling it off. Because even to create that amateur look
yeah,
is a hard thing to do, especially with all the graphics and everything. He pulls it off so well. Yeah.
yeah. And and then when he was selecting the photograph, he thought he was selecting a photograph, and it was a different one. And
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and
And
then
then you see
finally,
there and like the random granny in the photograph. So there's like,
yeah,
the pictures and the random granny.
and then finally, like he finds when it's a sub menu of a sub menu of a sub menu, and suddenly everything is great. It's yeah, it
It's
was
funny when it cost like 2,000 quid for the full version,
yeah.
and then it's like 600 to donate to the choir or something.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of good gags in there,
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant, because we think we can all relate to this. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
he never got frustrated. Like it was, oh, okay, okay. Now let's try this now. Oh yeah, okay.
and there was kind of like a sense of pride when he finished it, and then he had the guns and the shooting. Yay.
Mm, yep.
All right. Well, I guess that pause means it's rating time. So Claire, you want to go? Or
Okay. So for me, it is a sketch more than a film, but it's very cleverly done, and it just shows you what you can do as a one filmmaker. And in fact, he did the graphics and everything, and I think we can all relate to it. So I'm going to give it 4 stars.
hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's certainly not a short film, but that doesn't mean it's bad in any ways. It was very creative. I'm sure he spent some time doing it, and we can all relate. So I'm going to go 3.5 stars.
Okay. We'll have to have a discussion someday. And what's the difference between a short film and a,
Totally.
a
Well, and
what?
our rating systems are really quite arbitrary as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Um. Uh. I mean, it's like there's no real, there's no real drama in this. So I don't know. It's not. What would you say? What would define a film? I I liked it. I thought it was very funny. A good whatever 6 7 minutes of entertainment. Didn't flag at any time. So I will give it 4 stars.
Well, there you have it, no budget audience. So we thought this was a fun little short. So check it out. It is called, what's it called again, Call?
Ultromedia, please.
Ultromedia,
Well,
please.
I think it's Ultra TRO media. It's not,
Ultro Media.
yeah.
All right.
Ultra. I just noticed that now. Yeah.
Okay. Ultro Media.
Yeah.
Well, you can let us know what you think or just want to contact us for any other reason on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at No Budget Show. And with that, we'll say goodbye and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
But